Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create and graph a table of values. In your assignment, that Google Doc, question 9 and 10, you're going to be creating a table of values. You will not be required to graph that table of values, mainly because I couldn't figure out how to get that to happen easily for you guys in the Google Docs. So I figured we'll skip having you guys graph that table of values to make it easier for everyone. So just to repeat, so you don't accidentally get confused or do too much work than you have to do, you are only creating a table of values for number 9 and 10. You do not have to graph it. I'm going to show you guys how to graph it just in case that would be a question that comes up on your AccuPlacer exam later on. Okay, so step one in graphing a table of values on your AccuPlacer exam, for example, they're going to give you an equation and they'll say create a table of values and put it on a graph. Step one would be create your table, and your table would look something like this over here, where you have x on one side and the equation that they gave you on the other side. Then you get the freedom to choose any number in the world to represent x. You would write it right here. Then you would plug it into your formula. So replace this x with whatever number you chose, solve it, and put your answer right here. And then you get to choose any number again, plug it in for x, solve it, and write it right here. Choose any number one more time, plug it in for x, and put your answer right here. Then, if required to on the AccuPlacer exam, you would just graph your coordinates on your graph. And I'm going to show you guys how to create a table of values and really quickly how to graph using number 9 on your assignment as your example. So make sure you have number 9 from your graphing coordinates assignment open so that way you can get those free answers and so that way you know how to do number 10 by yourself. Okay, so you can choose any number you want to represent x. I like to take it easy on myself because why not? Math is not my favorite subject in the world. So I'm going to take it easy. I usually like to put a negative number in there just so that way we kind of have perspectives on both sides of the graph, both positive numbers and negative numbers. So I'm going to put a -1 in there. And then I'm going to put a 1 because that's an easy number to work with. And then we'll go 2 because that's also a pretty easy number to work with. You can put any number you want in there. So if you want to make it hard on yourself, you could do like a fraction. You could do 126 if you wanted to, whatever random number you want. That is totally your call. But I like to take it easy on myself. Okay, so I've chosen my numbers. I'm just going to plug the numbers that I chose into this x in my formula, solve it, and then I would write that number right here. Okay, so I am going to take this -1 and put it into the formula that they gave me, y equals 2. Oh, here's my x, so I'm going to replace that with a -1 minus 4. Now remember with your order of operations, you want to do multiplication before you do subtraction or addition. So I need to do this multiplication first. 2 times -1, -2. And then I copy down whatever is remaining in my formula. Okay, now I take this -2 minus 4, and that is -6. And that's what I put right over here. All right, now I need to do that with my other numbers that I chose, starting with that 1. So I'm going to copy down my equation, replacing the x with a 1. So y equals 2. Replace the x with the number I chose, which is 1, minus 4. Remember, order of operations, I got to do this 2 times 1 first, which is just 2. All right, copy down whatever's remaining, which is just -4. 2 minus 4 equals -2. All right, and that's my answer. I put into the side of the table right over here. Okay. Last time that I have to do this equation. So if you're creating your own table, you could do as many numbers as you wanted. You could do like 5 different numbers to represent x. You could do 3 if you want to. Generally, like 3 is a pretty good number to use just so that way you can come up with a pretty accurate line. Okay, so now I just need to put this 2 in for x and solve my equation. Remember, order of operations, I have to do the multiplication first, so 2 times 2, 4. copy down whatever's remaining in my equation. That's just this -4. And 4 minus 4, 0. So that's what goes on this side of the equation. Okay, so remember on your assignment for number 9 and 10, you are just creating a table of values. And remember to do that, you just have to come up with a random number for x. If you are planning on taking the AccuPlacer, or even just thinking about it, you might want to listen to the rest of this video, even though it's not required for the assignment. On the AccuPlacer exam, you're going to have to graph those points using the table of values that you created. Here's how you would do that. You have your x coordinate right here and your y coordinate right here. So you would go over -1 and down -6. We'll say that's right here. Okay, and that would be your first point. This next one, you have your x coordinate right here, your y coordinate right here. So you would go over 1 on the x axis, down -2, which would be right around here, we'll say. And the last one, you have your x coordinate, you have your y coordinate. You would go over 2 and up 0. And remember that 0 means that you're not going to be going up or down. You are just staying on the axis. So this one is on the y-axis because the y equals 0. And then we have our line. All right, if you guys have any questions on number 9 and 10, feel free to ask. Remember, you are not required to graph it. I just did a little quick demo so that way if you take the AccuPlacer, you kind of know what to expect.